It's strange when you're here at this certain point, because we come from that direction there, as you can see. And then we get to the river here and you walk across, and you only go so far, and everyone starts feeling a different atmosphere. It's so strange how it happens every single time we come here. There's always a change of atmosphere when you get onto this side of the bridge.
Well, hello, how you doing? You alright? Bandabby dozy. How's things? Right. Well, talk about being on the spot. Mick's just said to me, there's a chair, there's a camera, talk away. So, here I am, front of the camera, talking about W.H.I.T. W.H.I.T is an investigation team. As you all know, or you should do by now, we've been getting a little bit stronger and stronger over the years, which means we're going in the right way. And I would just like to say that basically I think we're getting stronger as an actual team, because we're getting to know each other a bit better. I think we've been going now for about 2.5 years. I believe Mick, isn't it? I think it's it might be. I think it's touching on 3, I think it's touching on 3. God, that's gone. Time flies when you're having fun. And when we set up the team, it was in the middle of winter. How that happened, I never know, but I do actually remember that night where basically you took your gloves off and then you had to press the camera button and then put them back on. It was really, really cold. Your fingers were falling off. But yeah, I do remember that night we all met up. And lovely Denise had the idea of we should form a team, and we did. And here we are, and I'm part of it, which I'm absolutely over the moon. So W.H.I.T, what is W.H.I.T all about? Basically, we're a paranormal investigating team, but we do all the scale. Ghosts, cryptids, UFOs, anything basically. Anything out of the ordinary, we're there. And we try to get there in a flash as well. So like I said, we've had really, for how long we've been going, like I said, 2.5, 3 years, we've seen a lot. I mean, the other week I sat there and I was having a cup of, in fact, I'll just have a quick sip, to be honest, a cup of Yorkshire. And your mouth gets a bit dry when you're in front of the camera. And so I had a quick think, and I'm sat there and I thought, do you know, we've seen hell of a lot, to be honest, and we've travelled a few miles as well, and in the future there will be a few more adding to the clock. But obviously, you know, if you keep watching Mick McLaren's channel and mine, which is Rivington Park Beast, you'll find out more. So we've seen stuff over here in our own town, our own area, our own rural area. Like I said, we saw that at the quarry, which was very strange. I'm a bugger for Keep Looking Back, as you know, if you've watched my channel. For Keep Looking Back, I'm always doing it, but I mean, it's only common knowledge that if something's going to creep up on you, it's coming from the sides and from the back. It's not really coming from the front, where we're all heading, you know, with all the lights and the torches and whatnot. So yeah, we've seen hell of a lot. Like I say, we saw that 2 eyes in the quarry. But the thing is as well, what I like about this is that when you do see something, you don't bloody forget it. Not at all. Same as Bempton. You know, I mean, we had that scare at Bempton as well. And by heck, that was a scare. But that taught me a lot, really, because I can't say for sure if I'd be as scared, but the body goes into like another level, and it's like a survival mode. Now, I don't know if that happened again, because obviously it's not the last time we're going over to Yorkshire, to Bempton. If it happened again, I think we'd have a totally different kettle of fish, because it's like Mick said, when the actual incident happened, the thing about it was, we have heard stories about it, but we stayed there. Now, that's the key factor. We stayed there a lot longer than anybody else. We had the brightest torch that anybody else had, and maybe that was something to do with it. But basically, because we stood our ground, I mean, the incident where I first saw it and Pete saw it, I asked Pete later on, I asked Nat, and Pete says it made a bluff charge at us. Now, to me, it didn't. Now, how many times do we hear that people were in a group and they saw different things at the same time? More or less every story, basically. So, yeah, so that was very interesting itself. So, yeah, I like the little things like that, what you pick up on, and then you watch stuff on YouTube and they match. So you know people have experienced what we experienced at Bempton or other phenomena at the time. So basically, it's just story. I love watching stories on YouTube all over the world, and you can tell the person if they have actually seen something, because when you click, or even if you write things down, they match to what's actually in your head or what you've actually seen or heard in the past. So yeah, so I absolutely love it. I love the friends I've made, and basically, like I said, we're just getting stronger and stronger. Fingers crossed, we see some more things. We're definitely feeling more things. Where we're at now, we're going to do a live stream, and then we're going to do a night investigation. We were here a couple of weeks ago, about a month ago, and when we crossed over the actual water, where obviously there's energy, we felt the land change. It really, everybody did, to be honest. Now, that's another thing, because always when we've been with people, other paranormal investigators, they've said, no, I can't feel nothing. I can't, no. But they all felt something. And I picked that up and I thought, that is very strange and it must be very heavy. So like I said, something might happen tonight. Stuff has been seen round here. Very strange stuff. Different paranormal stuff. So yeah, so basically, that's what I joined WIT for. And, like I said, WIT is just getting stronger. So fingers crossed, you know. Keep watching our channel, and let's hope we actually pick something up very soon, which we get on camera. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye for now.
So, my name's Oliver, and you can call me Ollie, Oliver, either one if you're watching. Respond to either. And I'm here tonight with the Winterhill investigation team. There's a couple of others who've come along with us. We all bring our own different areas of expertise to the table. And yeah, it's quite a bit out of my comfort zone, is this, because I'm big into my wild camping. I'm massive into my animals and my nature. I have a YouTube channel called Campfire Stories Lancashire, where I mainly talk about, well, I document my wild camping expeditions that I do. I'm into bushcraft and what's mainly solo wild camping. It's very rare that I have company with me. So it's nice to be out with friends who I've met before and people who I've not met before. And yeah, in my videos I just kind of monkey around really. I don't take life too seriously. And I always have a good time out in nature where I'm at my happiest. And I also do videos about undiscovered creatures on our tiny little island here in the UK. Mysterious and unknown creatures that evade discovery. Mainly my area of expertise and knowledge and background, Bigfoot type creatures. I had an encounter myself in 2018, and I've always been interested in that phenomenon from being a little lad. And yeah, after my sighting that I had, it just kind of propelled me even further out into nature. I wanted to get more answers, and it's brought me on this mad wild camping journey and bushcraft journey. And it all kind of marries up nicely because, you know, what defines me as a person, even though I do love my wild camping and outdoors, animals are my passion. I have a degree in zoology, so whenever I do come out with Winter Hill Crew, it's nice because I can kind of bring my sort of quote-unquote academic knowledge to the table and, you know, kind of debunk anything that might be a little bit dubious. More often than not, it's not dubious because the Winter Hill investigation team bring cracking good evidence. So more often than not, I can kind of sit back and go, yeah, that's definitely something I can't explain. And with that in mind, you know, because I'm an animal person, that's kind of why I do fixate mainly on Bigfoot type creatures. Very interested in large cats in the UK as well, you know, black leopards. I had a sighting of one of them in 2010 with my family. Yeah, lake monsters. So, you know, I have fleeting interest in other peculiar animal-based cryptids like your dogmen and things like that. But it's great to get out with like-minded folk and talk about different ideas and bounce things around. Because again, like I said, we're all into different facets of this massive phenomenon, whether it be ufology or more sort of paranormal activity. And yeah, it's really nice. But yeah, hit me up on Campfire Stories Lancashire, and I'm looking forward to a good night with my mates, and yeah, all good vibes around. So yeah, hope you enjoy this video.
Right, so my name is Spiro. I run a channel called Wilderness Adventures UK on YouTube. On Wilderness Adventures UK, we do, as the title would say, wilderness adventures. I do everything from vehicle camping. I have a Land Rover and a Land Cruiser. I tour the country in them, spending various nights in vehicles, glamping if you will, because they're all kitted out with all the gear. But I also do a lot of ground dwelling and hammock camping, various bushcraft skills. And I've been referred to by friends as a poor man's Ray Mears, which is quite funny. But yeah, that's what we focus on my channel. Now here tonight, just with the guys, I like to tell myself that I'm looking after them, food, water. If anything jumps out, I'll be the first one running away. Trust me. But yeah, looking after them from the aspect of making sure nobody's going to burn down the forest or anything crazy like that. But yeah, that's what we do. Come on over if you'd like to. Wilderness Adventures UK, or just punch in WA UK, and I should be the first channel that comes up.
Evening, my name's Leon Howarth. I have the channel Do It Noels Way Paranormal. And I'm here this evening with Nick McLaren, Lee and the rest of the W.H.I.T team, doing a bit of an investigation and also a live from my own channel. This area has got a lot of history with regards to paranormal stuff and paranormal UFO, dogman sightings, ghosts. The whole area is crawling in it. We're hoping tonight to get a bit more evidence into what is going on around here. We'll also, like I said before, we'll be doing a live from here on YouTube. Couple of weeks ago, which probably about a month ago now, we were up here doing a very similar thing than what we're doing now, and we found a strange humanoid footprint, and we're going to do a reveal of it tonight on my channel or whenever you come and watch this. So it would be great if you could nip over to Do It Noels Way and tune in. Thanks. The actual night we were in this area, we're only like 200 yards, was it? That way we were actually camping.
Yeah.
And we probably found this around about quarter of a mile into the woods. It was in a place where Mick had actually had a wild camp a couple of weeks or a month before, and he got a little bit of weird vibes, and he heard some strange, like, metallic voices, was it?
Yeah, it was quite strange. Where I was camping in that area, I heard what sounded like someone playing a radio from a car. Now, there's no car parks around that area, but where I was in the centre of the camp, I could hear it, but whichever direction I headed out to, it faded until I came back to the camp, and it would just, like I said, it would just sounded like a radio playing at distance. So that was a strange experience, as well as being woken up about 3 o'clock in the morning by what sounded like, I could only say a cattle being slaughtered, and I don't know where that noise came from. And I ended up going back to sleep after that, so I didn't go out venturing around on my own in the dark. But in the morning I did have a look round, and I didn't come across anything, and I went to the field further away up at the top of this area where I thought there was cattle in, but there was no cattle there. So I don't know where the noise came from at all.
Mick, can I just ask as well, you know when you said you heard like a radio, you were walking to it and it was going further away, were you near a stream?
No, I purposely camped near, I made sure there were no streams around. I wanted a night of complete silence, so if I heard anything, I could go in the direction it
cancel it out. Yeah. Because people say if you go near streams or water, it sounds like people chattering sometimes. So I just wanted to rule that out.
Yeah, and that's why I did that. I wanted to keep away from that stream. So this is the actual cast itself. Now it has been lifted from very wet ground, and I'm not going to make any excuses whatsoever, and you're going to really struggle to see what we can see, or what I can see anyway. Now, when it was originally in the ground, you can see this is the top of what we were looking at. Obviously, there's overflow to that plaster of Paris.
Oh my God, that was strange, isn't it?
I'll show you that bit in a minute. This bit here is all overflow, so it's more of that bit. Now, what first stuck out to us when we were looking at it was this thing of 3 toes. There's a bump, and a bit of a bump there. I'm not sure if this is degradation from weather or something, or the foot has slid and turned. You might be able to put some light onto that. But as we are, have a closer look at that.
It looks strange as soon as you got it out of the actual
that
bag.
Is the ankle bit. Now, there's a part here, and at first, when I first looked at that, it looks like ridges on the skin, but it's in the middle of a woods, so it could be foliage, could be anything. This guy will tell us, he'll know what it is when he looks at it. The actual, I've never seen anything, I've never seen a print like anything before.
Not with it being so thin.
The length of it.
It's like, you'd expect a foot that big to have real heaviness over the top of it, so you'd expect it to be wider, really. There's
no real information on that bit. That was a finish.
But that gives us the length of it, doesn't it?
That's the overall leaf, isn't it? Yeah, and there's like veins, isn't there? Yeah, I think that's a leaf.
But I think on video, I actually said about you could actually see the hooves in the soil that night before we actually took this cast, which is quite interesting. So we actually did see the hooves before we did the cast.
But it's like, I don't know.
Pass it on, Liam.
It just looks, it's got that toe Well,
I don't want to
when we first, when you first saw this and you shouted us over, and we all came looking, and we know that we were around there, but we do know there were no other footprints around this.
No.
No, there was only that
sort
one.
of being careful. We weren't standing anywhere.
Well, that's why I didn't shout you in the beginning.
Yeah. But when I came over and I shone the torch in a certain way into the hole, you could distinctly see 3 toes.
Yeah.
And it's how long it was. I mean, it's not. This isn't really giving it justice.
No, not long at all together.
No, but the length of it was a size 11 foot, but it was sort of what 2.5 inches.
Yeah, it was like as thin as a kid's foot.
Yeah. And how long it was a weird thing to come across. But
like you said, there were no other prints, there was nothing round it. And when I shouted Mick, I only shouted Mick, and Mick came down. Well, you can see on the video, everyone were really careful around it all. I think you get some pictures of it as well.
I got some pictures, yeah. So if you want to see the pictures, nip over to my channel and have a look.
Have a look at them.
They're not the best, but it's hard to get on camera, the actual, especially in the dark as well, the actual depth and width and length. So, but just nip over to my channel and have a look. But there is some close-up ones. I think there is 1 or 2 where you can see the hoofs, I think, at the front. But,
I was in 2 minds whether to glue it all back together from the top.
Yeah.
Then that means I've been messing with it.
I know.
So I didn't want to.
That's interesting.
As it is,
that bit
that's
there,
how it come out of the ground when I popped it out.
Right.
Come in 3 bits. That's why I thought the ankle bit was a goner.
Right, okay.
when you're looking at that, what I'm wearing, it's on the outside, but you've still got.
Oh yeah.
See, what gave me this idea was when you see things that people said, oh, we've got a footprint, we've got a cast of it, we've sent it off. What I wanted to do really tonight is to see what you all actually think and us think together with, you know, actually first seeing it. So it is definitely strange, but especially the hooves.
I don't think it would be good enough to send off anywhere.
No, it wouldn't. No, but you hear people doing it.
It's this, the deepness of this bit here. You know, as they've stepped in.
Yep.
And what caught your interest then on that?
It's the heel indentation here. That's definitely defined as that. I would say.
Yeah.
So that's some weight bearing as that.
Right.
And you know what I always say about Bigfoot trackways. Obviously, that's in this phenomenon as a whole, not just the UK, worldwide.
That's how it got its name, Bigfoot.
They say that is the most definitive piece of evidence that it has of its existence. You know, because quote-unquote scientists won't take anecdotal evidence on board, unfortunately. But what people don't understand about trackways with animals, and particularly something like this, you know, because I've tried stuff like this myself, you know, with my own research, if you want to call it that, where I've done long distance hikes barefoot, just to kind of see how the foot moves in a long.
Because you'd have to walk for a while before your brain starts stopping you from doing certain things.
Yeah, exactly.
You'd have to just.
Yeah, exactly. And people who maybe are not that gemmed up on this topic can expect that prototypical in a straight line.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that. Because even just our sort of dimensions, you know, one leg is ever so slightly longer than the other. So that's when you're walking in a straight line over conventional terrain that what we're used to. If you're out here in the dark, potentially, you know, you can't really see where you're going or whatever. Sometimes these missing tracks that you're talking about, you just see all this one footprint and you're thinking, where are the other ones? That is more than likely the explanation for it.
Right.
Because you can have one perfect footprint here and then something steps off in another direction, you never see it. You know what I mean? Because different terrain levels will bear different weight, and that will often result in a clear cast footprint, if you want to, archetypal footprint type thing. So oftentimes that's why they do go missing, if that makes sense.
Right, so that's why there's a lot of talk of the single footprint.
Yeah.
So that was the softest area it was in.
They're more than likely, if it was what we're hoping it is, obviously it's passed through and you've just been lucky to find something, but it doesn't mean that it's, you know, your imagination playing tricks on you or anything like that. That heel ridge, to me anyway, that's the most interesting part of that cast.
Just like to say thank you to the other campers who were not far from us on the night we camped out. As we were doing the live feed, this is what they were doing behind, which we didn't even notice that they were there. But after looking at the trail cams and getting home, I had quite a laugh watching this. So to you two, if you are watching this, thanks a lot for the laugh. So what time are we on now? So we're at 1:45 and we're having a walk in the woods. As we're walking along, Oliver and Lee are doing some filming as well as myself. And this is one of the trail cams that picked us up as we were walking around. Look at that! We've got a nice big, is it a toad?
Toad?
A big fat toad.
Sorry, mate.
Is that pregnant? It's very large. Hey.
Oh, beautiful.
Now interesting, the SLS is not picking the frog up.
I just saw something hop as you went across the street.
Oh, I'm glad I didn't stand on it.
Come here.
Oh, look at it go.
Let your back it walk.
Shall we
I felt energy in there before, and it's unsettled me.
What?
Just in this patch of forest here with this family's camp. I think we're saying this is where it usually all kicks off.
Well, this is where they were, the thing coming over the canopy where them wild campers were. This is where we're at now.
And this is the patch where I camp.
Yeah, and the house is just over there. We might be worrying them with the stud there. At this point, we decided to head over to the area where we found the footprint over a month ago. So we've eventually got down to the river. I know you're not going to be able to see as much as we can down here with this. Here's Lee now, walking along. There we go. There we can see proper, a bit of light. And I'm actually using my night vision at the moment. There's Oliver and Lee. We've left the others at the camp. And as you can see, we're near the water.
Straight away as you come over that bridge, mate. Sorry. Straight away as you come over that bridge, you can feel something. Can you not, mate?
Yeah. It's strange when you're here at this certain point, because we come from that direction there, as you can see, and then we get to the river here and you walk across and you only go so far and everyone starts feeling a different atmosphere. It's so strange how it happens every single time we come here. There's always a change of atmosphere when you get onto this side of the bridge. It is a strange atmosphere on this side of the water, and you start feeling it more as you're coming along this path. Oops. Very dark where we are now. We've just been up to an area where I camped out last year to have a look around the area again, because last time we came we found what looked like a footprint which Leon Howarth took a cast off and did a live tonight while we were out. I'm looking everywhere else because I just got to be careful where I'm walking. In fact, I've gone off the path. So this cast, what Leon took, it looks strange. It does look like a footprint. It looks. You got to really study it to have a look around the front and see what it might have been. But at the back there's an actual heel mark, as though it's a footprint walking the heel into the ground first. So like I said, we've just been up there, we're on our way back, going back to the camp now. Lee's got his SLS camera out. He's talking to that and picking up all sorts of strange comebacks with words and names. I seem to have lost them. Oh, they're right up there. Leave them up there a minute while I walk down here. If it's getting noisy, I'm going near a river. It's the end of the steps and I'm now at the river. Ooh. Actually, I had all my torches on, what I'm using at the moment. I've had them on charge all day. And they seem to be on the way out. The head torch, that's its brightest and it's not very good at the moment. I'll wait on this bridge for Lee and Oliver to come down and just have a little chat. So where we are tonight, we're in Roddlesworth, part of Tockles. And as you can see how dark it is around, what I'll do is I'll just see if I can get some light and shine it around so you can see. And that's a bit better. You can see everything around now when I'm shining on. And this is a night vision that we use. I seem to have lost them on my own. Here you can see that light in the dark up there, that's where they are. Coming down the steps. No, what's that?
Hey! Way! Wit!
And here we are again, getting caught on camera on the way back. Good morning, people. So we've had a night in Tockles, and well, it's early in the morning. It must be, let me see what time it is. Actually 4 o'clock. I've not been able to sleep, everyone else has gone to sleep. So I'm just having a wander around. The sun's ready for coming up. And I thought I'd have a wander rather than sit there and let you know how the evening went. We went over to where I camped out quite a while ago. We went looking for an area where we found a footprint, which was about a size 11, and it was about 2 inches wide. It seemed to have 3 toes, and Leon, who was with us, he came up after we spotted the footprint. He came up the day after and got a cast of it. So this evening, well, yesterday evening, while we was here, we actually did a live feed on Leon's channel, Do It Noels Way, to talk about the cast and have a bit of a revealing of what it looked like. So when we did come yesterday evening, but we set up, we were going to go to another area where we camped out last time. But when we got there was somebody already there. We couldn't exactly move them on. Can't really come to a wooded area and say, this is our spot, you need to move on. Not the done thing. And the spot with chores was quite a nice area. A bit nearer to the road, so there's a bit of traffic noise, but not too bad. You don't get much traffic coming past here at night. So yeah, I've left all them back at the tent. I'm having a wander. You never know what I might see or not see, if that's the case. But I don't know if you can hear that. The bird song in here is so loud. They're all waking up now while the sun's coming up. Plus, I've got to watch where I'm walking because I can't believe how many slugs there are along the floor. And we're in a wooded area that's full of pine trees. So it's layers and layers of pine needles. And it's really soft and nice to actually lie down on. And probably even nicer to sleep on if I can get sleep. A bit of a gap here. Just going to turn my torch off a minute because I don't think I need it at the moment. I think I'll have a walk over here. I'm in an area at the moment. I'm leaving you facing this way because I know there are a lot of deer around this area where we are now. So it would be nice for one of them to just pop up and we see it. It would actually make me morning, huh? To see something like that. Or even better, a big cat. Actually, where I'm walking now, the grass is all flat. Where probably deer have been lying in the night. Gonna walk back round this way, I think, because the undergrowth is getting a bit denser and a bit wet with the dew. I don't want to end up with really wet feet and wet trousers down at the bottom. This area where I am at the moment is where a lot of wild campers come. You can see why they come in here. You know, it's nice and peaceful. Nobody disturbs you. You're near a road in case you need to pack up quick and get going. And in this particular area of woods, which are that's round behind me, where we've been camping in, you can see all up back there. I recently got someone getting in touch with me, saying that they were in here camping, and they were just round the fire, and it were like this, you know, like it's. I mean, where I'm walking into, you know, it's a bit darker, and that's what it were like. It was the sun was going down, so you still had a bit of light, and he said they saw movement out of the corner of their eye at first. And as he looks over, it looked like a person stood there. But it was just a dark silhouette, like a shadow of a person. And, sorry. I'm getting that and I'm going all cockeyed with her. You get that right? Oh, that's it. Anyway, so they were sat there and they thought it was a person, and because of the light at that time with the sun was going down, they just saw this like figure, and then it seemed to just disappear in front of their eyes. But you do hear these shadow entities in this area disappearing. But you know, I'm never that lucky to see anything like that, or unlucky. It would be nice to actually see something like that when people spoke about it, and it's happened, you know, within the last few weeks. But I can imagine, or you can imagine yourself. I mean, looking at that wooded area bit behind. I mean, it's quite light now at the moment, but as it's light now, I mean, the sun's just coming up, so it would have been like this sort of light. I mean, yeah, you could say, well, it could be the trees, but these things, he said, they were like sort of moving at the same time. You know, like they were just, they just explained them as shadow men that were actually not shimmering, but just moving slightly. But we've not seen anything like that. We've been here all night. I've been sat around the camp, not sleeping and looking round. I've used my night vision. I have not seen anything or heard anything. Right, I think I'll head back to the camp now because I'm ready for a brew. I think it's this way. Just sat down now. Just having a brew. As you can see, it's really, really light. There's a camp behind me. I've moved over here because I've just seen a rabbit running past. But I thought I'll sit up here quietly and see whether any more come past. Got the trail cam on this tree here. So hopefully it's picked it up going past. But if not, and I sit here, you never know. Might be lucky and we'll get something coming past. I did thought I saw a deer over in that direction. I saw movement and it was quite large. And when I say large, I mean large like a deer. Not anything bigger than that. It's quite good having the camp behind me there. I can see what's going on behind me, as well as what's going on in front of me. It's quite strange with having a lack of sleep. If you look over at places, then you see a stump like that in front, and it almost looks from at this distance while I'm looking over like somebody stood there. But it's just as you can see, it's a stump in distance. The things you see when you've not had much sleep.